Nothing.
Hello, I'm Jenna. I'm Kasie. And we're going to show you how to survive using heat and thermal energy. First thing we're going to explain is what heat is. What is it, Kasie?
Heat is energy that is transferred between two objects with different energies.
Right. Some examples are the reason why the air feels hot to us right now is because it has more energy and it's transferring to us, making us feel hot. Anyways, and then the reason why an ice cube feels cold is because we're transferring our energy to it and that makes it feel cold. Okay, heat helps us survive by cooking our food, keeping us warm, and preserving our food when it's cold, and keeping us warm. Sorry, the spider.
What up, dog?
I love science.
Now we're gonna explain what temperature is. And temperature describes how hot or cold something is. Like,
Temperature is the measure of the average kinetic energy of objects.
you can use a thermometer to measure temperature.
The fluid in the thermometer expands and contracts. It expands whenever the temperature is rising, and it contracts whenever the temperature is decreasing.
And there's little marks on it that tell it like how hot it is, like temperature, you know, measures it. This is our guest speaker. His name's John, and he's really smart and scientific, and he's going to explain 3 ways that heat transfers.
Alrighty, there are 3 ways that heat can transfer. There's radiation, convection, and conduction. The first one I'm going to explain is radiation. Up here we have the sun, which gives off radiation through electromagnetic waves. These waves don't require a medium to transfer through, so they can go through space. When they hit the atmosphere, they heat it up. We're done.
And now we're back with John King, our smart scientist survival guide.
Alrighty, our second way that heat transfers is convection. Convection is the transfer of heat between 2 fluids as the hot one tries to give its energy to the colder one. An example here would be the hot air around us tries to give its energy to the colder air, and also it tries to give its energy to this metal truck right here, which has less energy.
And we're back again for the last of John King starring in this film. It's going home soon.
Alright.
John?
The final way that heat transfers is through conduction. Conduction is the transfer of energy between 2 objects that are touching. This results in heat. So an example of this would be, if this truck were running right now, its engine gives off heat. And then since the engine and the hood are touching, it transfers its heat to the hood, and the hood also warms up.
And the hood would warm up my butt.
That's nice, Kasie.
Just saying.
Now we're going to explain what convection current is. Kasie?
Convection current is the flow of heat through movements of fluid with more energy giving off to those with less.
An example of convection current is wind. The hot air that has more thermal energy is trying to transfer its energy to like colder air, which has less energy, and it makes it move around, and that's called wind when it moves around in the air. Next, we're going to explain what conductors and insulators are. A conductor is a piece of material that supports the flow of energy very well. Metal is a great conductor, like this spring here, because if you put a metal pan over fire, it can heat up and you can cook your food on it. Kasie, what's an insulator?
An insulator is the opposite of a conductor. An insulator keeps your heat in, like this bottom of this shoe. If lightning were to strike this shoe, nothing would happen to the shoe. There are 3 types of temperature scales used in measuring temperature. The first one is Fahrenheit, and it is used in the United States, and it freezes at 32 degrees and it boils at 212 degrees. The second one is Celsius. It is used in everywhere but America. It freezes at 0 and boils at 100. And the third one is Kelvin, which is a scientific way of measuring temperature, which freezes at 273 and boils at 373.
An absolute zero is a temperature at which molecular energy becomes 0. And a gas, like if a gas had an absolute 0, it would have no mass. Next, we're going to explain what specific heat is. It is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of material 1 degree. It's measured in joules. Water has a specific heat, and it is 4.186 joules. The final thing to discuss is thermal equilibrium. It occurs when two masses transferring energy get to an equal level of thermal energy. All masses try to obtain this. This is why wind occurs. This concludes our wonderful video project, and I hope we helped you understand what things are.
I love